already under oath to tell the truth. You've already violated that oath twice today. It seems absurd to instruct you again that you must tell the truth while you testify. Yet here I am. You must tell the truth while you testify.
That's conspiracy theorist Alex Jones finally getting his due. He made tens of millions of dollars on his show. It was called InfoWars, filled with a lot of wild tales, but some of them included that the Sandy Hook school massacre was just crisis actors and made up. Parents of the victims sued and won. A jury just ordered Jones to pay $4 million to the parents.
Did you know that 12 days ago, your attorneys messed up and sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years, and when informed, did not take any steps to identify it as privileged or protect it in any way. And as of 2 days ago, it fell free and clear into my possession. And that is how I know you lied to me when you said you didn't have text messages about Sandy Hook.
Yeah, it gets better from there. Colby Hall, founding editor of Mediaite, America's premier website for the news about the news. Should we really care that this is happening to Alex Jones, as fabulous as the karma is?
It is fabulous karma, and I think we should care, actually. I think there's a great deal of schadenfreude because, you set it up perfectly, I think. It's comeuppance. Alex Jones was a seminal figure in kind of the start of conspiracy and really misinformation. And he always saw himself as an entertainer, but a lot of listeners, viewers took him seriously. And he made a ton of money off of really ugly, bad conspiracy theories. Say, for example, that Sandy Hook was staged and those kids and parents were all crisis actors. I saw somewhere that he was making upwards to $800,000 a day purely off of ad revenue from that. And so I think it's very, very satisfying to see him finally getting called out and embarrassed. And, it's a horrible, horrible, tragic story. And I hope that it's not over, because I think that there should be more than just him losing, a small percentage of his wealth. I think $4 million spread over 20 families minus the legal fees. They each get, just over $100,000.
Yeah. There's a couple of other families, I think, that are also suing, so it'll continue. This is from his lawyer. If questioning public events and free speech is banned because it might hurt somebody's feelings, we are not in America anymore. And really, as sort of horrific as Alex Jones is, and you point out what he trades in is despicable, should the rest of the media not be so gleeful? Because I'm old enough to remember when the Wuhan lab leak theory was disinformation. I'm old enough to remember when Hunter Biden's laptop was disinformation as well.
Well, I think a broader sort of theoretical question is, where does the First Amendment and free speech cover conspiracies, right? He would argue that he was performance art, and it was so absurd that that was an easy argument to understand, and it was a lucrative one. But when we get into a world of sort of news entertainment where there's so much analysis and so much opinion, and the capital J journalism doesn't really apply anymore because just the facts wouldn't rate. So of course smart shows like your own that bring some analysis. But of course, that's all subjective, and so it is a slippery slope. Mm. I think if there's some glee and schadenfreude with this story in the media, it's directed directly towards Alex Jones. But I think you're wise to bring out this larger concern that where do we draw the line? And we say now it's an easy, obvious line to find.
Right. Yeah,
cut to 2 years from now or a decade from now, and we may regret that.
Yeah, we all know where the Ministry of Information went, the disinformation czar, and how that all ended up. Last question for you. Does this represent a kind of internal media that at some point sort of found him so disdainful that we're a little too happy to see him called out?
Well, I think that's a fair observation. However, you know, people that work in the media are human beings, right? They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like anyone else. And on a human level, this dude stunk. I mean, he was a bad, bad guy. The media, you would hope, like, would be more dispassionate and covers the story straight, but that very few journalists like that exist anymore. People tune in for the snark, the glee, the mockery, the fake tears. That's what's rating. So yes, if the larger issue that you point out, sure, there should be more discipline in the media. Will that happen?
No.
I don't think so. It's a good goal, but
dare to dream.
I'm afraid, you know, that's where we are today.
Yeah, all right. Hey, Colby, it's good to see you as always. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Leland.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.